Hey, it's Ree. So this is literally an impromptu video. I was actually getting ready to go to bed, so I've just thrown on this scarf because, I'm just to be modest, basically. And I was just watching a video on YouTube and without making this a long video, the lady was talking about how so many people, Christian people have been disappointed with life and have walked away from the Lord. And it just really made me think about the conversations that I've had with people and just other stories that I have heard myself personally of people who were Christians, who were believers. I know some people say, oh, they were never Christians. No, these were people who were in the Lord, who knew God for themselves, who knew Christ for themselves. And because they were believing, God for something and it never happened, they walked away from the Lord. And I myself have dealt with disappointment. And I had to get to a place where I had to speak to myself and say, Ree, if XYZ does not happen, you get to 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, whatever years that God will bless you with, and this doesn't happen, will you still choose Christ? Will you still choose him? Guys, this is not an easy thing. We go through life, trusting, believing that God will do this, that God will do that. And he is a God that can do anything, right? But there are many people who have, really truly believe that God will do something. For example, if someone, has an illness and they pray for that person and that person doesn't get healed, that can bring more than disappointment. It can bring anger, it can bring frustration, it can bring all sorts of emotions. And I want to challenge you, those of you who are walking with the Lord, that you are waiting on the Lord for something. Now, I want to make it clear that there is a big difference between God telling you himself, whether it's through a dream, a prophetic word, that he is going to do something, to you believing for something. There are two different things, because if God has directly, specifically told you that he is going to do something, that will happen. That is different to you. Once again, I go back to that example of someone who, has a family member who is sick and they are believing for their healing and it doesn't happen. Someone who's believing and desiring to be married and it doesn't happen, right? Those are two different things. And so I just want to really encourage you that if you are believing, even if you have a desire for something, like for example marriage, but you haven't actually heard a specific direct word from God about marriage, but you have that desire, okay? I want to challenge you to really think about, what if this doesn't happen? Remember, God is sovereign. The way he works, the way he moves does not always make sense. And if you blink and you're 45, and you blink again and you're 55, and you blink again and you're 75, 85, how many years God will give you, and you are still single and you are still waiting, right? And I'm speaking from a place of experience, guys. I have dealt with disappointment, and I have had to talk to myself and say, Ree, what if this doesn't happen? Will you still choose Christ? Will you still to choose and serve him every single day? Some people might say, well, it's easy. God, Jesus died for you. It's not that easy, because we are still human. As the Bible says, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So sometimes, you want to serve the Lord, but then you have that struggle with your flesh where you're like, God, I'm so disappointed. But you have to make a decision Because for some of us, some things that we're waiting on the Lord for may never happen. And that is a painful, painful pill to swallow. And I'm not trying to make a dampener, but I'm trying to, guys, we got to be real. We have to be real, because disappointment can overwhelm you. It can overtake you and make many people walk away from the Lord. And sometimes we think, we might not say it out loud, but sometimes we think, it will never be me. It's him, it's her, but it will never be me. What if it's you? What if it happens to you? What if it happens to me? We have to get to a place where we say to ourselves that no matter what does or doesn't happen, that we choose the Lord. I challenge you to think about it. I challenge you, because so many people are in a predicament that they're in that they never thought they would be in. So brothers and sisters, be encouraged. Really know why you're serving the Lord, not for what he can give you, but for who he is. I pray this makes you think. Be encouraged. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.